This review is of the Caterpillar 587T Pipelayer made in 1:50 scale by Norscot. The 587T is the largest pipelayer in the Caterpillar range currently, with an operating weight over 50 tonnes. It comes in a windowed box, which is in the normal Caterpillar style, and there's a few details about the model on the back, although once again there's nothing about the real machine. So if we open the box, we can start the fight to remove the model. It's securely held between some plastic formers, and it's tied to the base by the ties that Norscot like to use, and whoever ties them, they really know what they're doing because they're extremely tightly tied, and it can be a real battle to actually free the model. After the battle with the ties, we can start having a look at the model, and the overall effect is quite pleasing. The metal tracks are nice. The track frame's perhaps not so good. You can see the rollers are formed within the casting, so not such a nice detail there. Around the cab, the details include wipers, mirrors and lights, and you can see plenty of handrails and grab rails on the model. If you look at the tracks, well, zooming into the drive sprocket, that's quite nicely detailed. Here's a view from the front. The counterweight is reasonably nicely done. You can see the detail is contained within the casting, just to give it a bit of feature. And if we zoom in right at the front, we can see there's a small non-functioning pin for the tow bar, which is quite nice in this scale. Just a few more points of detail. The handrails are plastic, so they're all a bit flexible, but the colour match is good, so they look okay. And if we go in a bit closer to the top of the engine, you can see there's a brass pulley there, and it uses brass pulleys throughout this model. And that's a matter of taste as to whether you like those. I don't think they look authentic myself. Looking now at the tracks, they are metal, but they roll really quite well. Very smooth on the sprockets. Not much spring loading to get them off though. But the thing to notice is that they do move together because the drive sprockets share a common axle. The counterweight is operational in terms of its mechanism, so you can stretch that out to give balance to the winch, and you can just easily fold that back up again quite smoothly. The two winches on the model work. The top one is to alter the angle of the boom, and you can see here that just by turning it you can raise the boom up, and you can lower it by going the reverse way, although you might need to pull the boom down because of its weight. The hook winch works in the same way. It's the lower one, slightly more difficult to get to, and you can see what happens when you try to lower it. There are so many falls on the thread that and the hook doesn't really weigh enough, so you have to keep trying to pull the hook down to try and keep the thread taut. And if you get very skilled, after a while you can do it like this, two-handed. One unwinds it and one pulls it down, but again you have to be a skilled operator to do that. So that's the Caterpillar 587T Pipelayer by Norscot. It's quite a nice model and at a pretty reasonable price. And as always, if you want to read more about it and see detailed photos, visit CranesEtcTV.